So this is going to be a much more calm episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Now that we're here so far away.
No.
RJ, we're miles apart. We're 3 hours apart again.
Yes, we are. So far
Hello, everyone.
away.
Welcome to episode 44 of Hoagies and Pierogis.
Four, hey.
We got the hangover out of the way last week, so this
Get
one
another
is
one.
still going to be a little bit calm. I'm your host, Ian DiCarlo.
And I'm your co-host, RJ Hammond.
So after you're seeing your reactions to the Super Bowl last week, what'd you think?
I want to first apologize and I apologize to him separately. I felt like I was a little mean towards Nate. I did tell him to start because he walked up to my own house for an Eagles Super Bowl and a Cowboys thing. I felt like I may have crossed the line a couple times. I think I threw the C word at him once or twice. Maybe not directed. It was directed towards him, but I wasn't calling him that. But it was definitely very fun to watch. Like, I love watching like when people do live streams watching games and like you can watch along with them. So like it was kind of cool to see it from like, oh, you're on the other end of the camera now, like
Yeah.
what do you do? And I was not in the state of mind to even realize, like, remember, hey, you're on camera. I had a rough first
AJ
quarter.
motherfucking Brown, you cunt!
I was so excited. I mean, the first half, and I think I admitted it the next day on the podcast, like, I didn't really remember I remember the first half, but there's some pieces missing, and I don't know, I didn't really see it when I was watching, but there was some times where I was, like, going like this, like, shaking my head, like, rubbing my eyes, because things were legitimately blurry.
Well, I made sure to highlight that in the first quarter because that all led up to you.
Yeah.
Puking in the sink and then going to puke in the bathroom.
I did puke and rally. I was fine after.
You did, but you tried the first time you tried to rally was fucking hilarious. Oh my! We were all like, "What are you
I
doing?"
came right back and just choked, like, took some beer.
No, I'll be fine. Immediately, I did not make an edit. You were like,
Yeah. Reagan was upset. Not as much as I thought she would be, but she understood it was the Eagles Super Bowl. I really didn't need to be that fucked up. So what really happened, what was my real downfall was we decided we were going to do a power hour, and I love power hours. They're my favorite. I found oftentimes not anyone else does them all the way through. All you guys stopped after like 20 minutes, and
I stopped
did
at
not.
the 11th minute. I remember.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I doing? I'm 26 years old.
I love, and it pretty much just goes back to like sophomore year. Corey and I, and then John a lot of times too, would like just do them constantly. Like,
Oh yeah,
It was
yeah,
like-
no. John has talked about it.
it was like our thing. So like I was like, oh yeah, it like just threw me back. And hindsight, not a great idea. I didn't stop. I think I did like 7 beers on that, and then I had a glass of whiskey, even though it was the Eagles whiskey. That was
Ooh.
not smart.
I forgot about that. That might have been what it was. Ooh.
Yeah. I made some bad decisions. I lit my own oven on fire with my own ice somehow. I don't know if we talked about that in the after.
Yeah,
I
we
can't remember.
did in the morning.
Yeah.
We went over that. Yeah, we did the whole story.
Yeah. So that was. But yeah, it was. I'm all right. Like I had a good outlook the next day, and I still feel, all right about it. There's been a lot of Twitter talk and conspiracy shit since then, which we can maybe talk a little bit about later. But it was.
You know
I'm
what?
good.
We're on it. Let's just go right into it.
Sounds good to me.
Juju posting the CJ Gardner Valentine.
Not C.J. Gardner, James Bradbury, the offender of the
James
holding
Bradbury.
penalty. And I will admit, I saw it and I was like, man, that really hurts. But I was like, funny. It was admittedly
Dude, it's so funny.
But Juju also, A.J. Brown's response, in my opinion, was even funnier. maybe if other people didn't think so. I mean, and everyone in the NFL got in on it. Like, he really didn't. Like, I mean, yeah, it was a hold, but that ball was going way over his head anyway. Right. It was an overthrow, so.
I did like his response, A.J. Brown's. He said, first off, congratulations. Y'all deserve it. This is lame. You was on the way out the league before Mahomes resurrected your career on your 1-year deal, TikTok boy. Just ripped into him for an innocent joke. Like, absolutely went at his throat.
Good.
Oh, my God.
Fuck Juju. It was...
I mean,
and it was a funny
joke.
That
was a little bit. I think it was a little bit of an overreaction.
Yeah,
but it was good. I mean, it was good.
It was good. It wasn't like a. It was a little bit of an overreaction, but it wasn't like, all right, dude, like seriously, chill out. Like this is too much. Yeah. Like I said, it was.
TikTok boy.
Yeah, it was like it was a good like short comeback. Like it was good, and I like me as a fan. I'm sure AJ Brown probably feels different because like he was in the game, he did battle. And he probably feels bad for Bradbury because, like you said, he admitted it, and he's like, that's my brother, he's my teammate. Don't come at my guy. He's ride or die.
Yeah,
that's all I needed to know. My AJ Brown's ride or die for the Birds. I'm good. And like honestly,
and then Mahomes got into it for some reason. I don't know why.
Mahomes got into it during the parade. Mahomes pulled a me during the parade. Mahomes pulled the first half hammy on the parade.
Oh shit.
He was. Have you seen some of the clips? Mahomes just gave the trophy, the Lombardi Trophy, to one of the fans during the parade. They took a picture. He handed it to him like it was like a handler, and then walked away.
What the fuck? My favorite clip from that parade was him walking out of the porta potty getting a standing O. That was great. That was pretty good.
But like, I don't know. Maybe you can call this loser talk, but like, I still feel as like things have gone on, I feel good about the future of the Eagles still because, yeah, we lost, and that sucks, and it was one of the worst nights ever. But, like I said, you got A.J. Brown. Yeah, we lost Shane Steichen, but we also got rid of probably the biggest issue in that game, who's also a weirdo. And, I don't know, like, I just feel
right. Well,
like the team is in a good place. Yeah, I feel like the team's in a good place to go on into the future. So, go ahead.
I am kind of interested to see who they'll bring in as their OC. So Shane Steichen got the Colts head coaching job, and Jonathan Gannon got the Cardinals head coaching job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had when both teams said we're going to wait until after the Super Bowl, you had to assume this is where they were going.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the Cardinals pick. I think the Gannon pick is a really odd pick. Gannon, I really believe is one of the bigger reasons they lost in that game.
And we talked about it during the season. Like, our defense did get exposed a couple times throughout the season. Like, and it was just honestly when our defense played really good. It was when that front four was getting to the quarterback, and they just didn't get to the quarterback that night. And you can talk about
not at all.
You can talk about Sodgate and the field and whatnot. And honestly, I want to say one thing too. The 49ers and the New York Giants are a bunch of crybaby bitches because all they did after they lost both of those games is bitch and whine and say that they would have killed us. And all we've done since we lost the fucking Super Bowl and had probably a couple of legitimate gripes during the game. Bradbury admitted to the hold. Jalen Hurts, always a class act. Everyone's been great. So fuck everyone else who wants to talk about us Philly scumbags. Yeah, we're scumbags, but we can be classy when it's time to. And when you lose the Super Bowl, that's when it's time to be classy.
Right. I don't know if I said it last time, but Hurt said, you either win or you learn.
Yeah.
You either win or you learn.
It's everything. I cannot express how much I love Jalen Hurts. Like, he just says all the right things, and they're not like media answers. Like, he just says the right things, and you can tell he means it. Like, and he's just a competitor, and he works his ass off. And if I forget, I think I'm trying to think of who the OC was at Alabama when he was there, because I love that, because just through that connection. But I think it was Stark.
Gotcha.
So that I don't see him leaving Texas. But yeah, the Gannon
I was just gonna say, speaking of names, Shane Steichen is bringing along Jim Bob Cooter with him to Indianapolis.
Jim Bob Cooter is still in the league?
Jim Bob Cooter is going to be the OC in Indianapolis. Yep.
The ultimate name in the NFL. I can't. I didn't know Jim Bob Cooter was still in the game. That's amazing to hear.
Yes, I saw that. I think I saw that earlier today.
Weird move by the Colts. I feel like Steichen. We had a great offense this year, but they did. They're just running back what they did with Frank Reich, and that didn't work out. So are they going to set him up a little bit better?
Exactly.
I guess when Frank Reich went there, you were expecting to have Andrew Luck, and that kind of he retired.
Was
and all
that early? Mm-hmm. I thought that was after Luck retired.
I think he had 1 year with Luck.
Yeah, that sucks.
I know it seems so long ago now. So and they're looking.
It really does.
They're gonna do something dumb like draft Will Levis, like move up to 1 and draft Will Levis.
Oh, that would be stupid. That would be so stupid. He can zip the fucking ball, but like
he's going to be Zach Wilson. He is going to look great at the combine. He's going to wow a team, but I just have not seen any of the plays that I've seen that are highlight. Like guys are wide open. He's not making
I like Will Levis a little bit more than Zach Wilson, to be honest with you.
Well, at this point, yeah.
Like kind of levels actually, because BYU isn't really known for their NFL players.
Yeah, and at least at that point you're getting an SEC quarterback, so a difference.
Right.
But we'll see. I mean, he could no one thought Jalen Hurts was even going to sniff the playing field, so we'll see.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of.
Which was odd because he had all the accolades.
Yeah.
And Levis has almost none.
Yeah, but when Hurts was at Alabama, it was still during a time where it was, Alabama's going to murder you with their defense and their offense is going to be good enough to win. Mm-hmm. And I think they had Derrick Henry then, and then they had Najee, whoever they had. It was different. Guys, yeah. It wasn't the same Alabama offense you see now, but yeah. But Gannon, I want to talk about him real quick because he has done some weird moves, some Nick Sirianni-esque moves. You remember some of the things Nick Sirianni did when he first came to Philly? He was an odd guy. He said some odd things. The flowers, the seeds are blooming. His first press conference was kind of weird. But I still don't... He went and, hunted down Kyler Murray when he was lifting weights. I just feel like Arizona's, cursed with Kyler.
Yeah, they are. And he wants to build around Kyler. I don't know. I just feel like that's going to be a fucking East Palestine train headed for explosion. It's going to be bad.
I was waiting when you were going to shoehorn in an East Palestine, Ohio joke. And you know what? That fucking train derailment, it delayed one of my packages recently. And I was like, what is this train derailment? And I had no idea it was this big thing.
That one was off the dome. That one was not in the itinerary.
Because I told my mom, I was like, yeah, my shipment was supposed to be here in a day. And now it's stuck in Ohio for some reason. She's like, yeah.
I wonder if that's why the cards I ordered aren't going to be here till March. I don't know.
It's possible.
I don't think that has anything to do with it, but...
This is a sports podcast, not a world news podcast.
Well, the cards are baseball cards, but we'll go over that in a second.
Yes.
From the Chiefs, Eric Bieniemy finally gets his chance somewhere else. Takes the OC position for the Commanders, but also the head coach or assistant head coaching position.
I feel like assistant head coach is basically just I don't get that in football.
When you're also the offensive coordinator, I think that he's basically the head coach.
I could see, what's his name? Ron Rivera maybe retiring sometime soon.
I could see him retiring if everything.
But
if the transition goes well.
It just seems so weird for me because he's interviewed for 7 or 8 different head coaching jobs, for good teams too. That I don't remember who they all were, but I'm assuming at least 1 or 2 of them have a good situation now.
I thought he was going to get the Colts job, honestly.
I thought it was going to be any type of head coaching job or just stay with Kansas City where you can win Super Bowl after Super Bowl as the offensive coordinator with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, go down as one of the best OCs ever.
And probably, how much longer is Andy going to stick around? He's
that's true.
Older. He's a larger man. That doesn't typically go well with your health.
No, and he likes his fatty food.
He loves his cheeseburgers. So why wouldn't you just stay there It just seems weird to go. It's almost like just like going completely a complete 180 to a franchise that's been run great to a franchise that has just been an absolute shitstorm. I'd love to hear John's thoughts about it when we see him in March.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I'm sure he'll have something dumb to say.
And then someone else got a job out of that too. Travis Kelce is hosting SNL on March 4th.
This is a legit question. When was the last time you actually watched an episode of SNL?
So I don't sit down and watch it on TV. They post almost all the skits on YouTube, so I will sit and like watch the skits. They don't post all of them, but it's like most of them.
Because I feel like it's something that like you host SNL, it's still like big sometimes depending on who it is, and I think Travis Kelce will be like good, but SNL.
I think he'll do well, and I think they'll do some good stuff for him.
Have you seen people like talking about the way that Travis Kelce talks and how he's like, how does Travis Kelce talk like that, and Jason Kelce talks like this, and it's like, how about you just shut the fuck up? He talks like he talks. I think someone I saw a TikTok where like Jason Kelce grew up playing like hockey and football and was an offensive lineman, where Travis Kelce grew up playing basketball and football and was a tight end, and it's just like, fuck off. He's Travis. Yeah. He's gonna talk how he talks. This is how he is.
It's like it's not as severe, but it's like a Chet Hanks situation. For those of you that don't know, Chet Hanks is Tom Hanks' son. And he straight up speaks with a Jamaican accent, like he was born out of Jamaica.
Yeah, he's white boy summer, baby.
White boy summer.
Yes, yeah. For those of you who don't know, he was the one who did White Boy Summer.
Oh, it's so good.
It's fucking funny. Travis Kelce is good. He's like their podcast is awesome. Listening to, did you? And not even listen to it, but see the clips of when Jason was talking about when he saw his mom.
Yep.
That's
the one I was going to mention.
I'm welling thinking about it. Like, I was like, oh my god. Like,
and Travis gets all emotional too. It was nice. It was nice.
It's like two perfect. Like, you couldn't ask for two more perfect people to just do a podcast with each other. It's always nice. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'll watch clips and I'm like, maybe I should text my brother. Maybe I should call Casey.
Call him up, chat with him for a little bit. But yeah, so Bieniemy is now the enemy.
Yes, he is the enemy to me. And I mean, maybe he sees something in Sam Howell, and maybe that's why he went there, because he was lighting shit up at North Carolina. So
he was, and I mean, they've already named him starting QB, like I said, I think 2 episodes ago. But I think it'll work out for him. I hope it does. Did you see it was over the past 5 years, the Chiefs have been 3rd in points per game, and the Commanders have been 30th or 31st.
Jeez, I mean, I think there's things other than just the offensive coordinator that are attributed to that, but I mean, it can definitely help. Like we've talked about it. The Commanders are quite literally a quarterback and an owner away from being a contender, a legitimate contender in the NFC, because the NFC is weaker, and if they can get one quarterback, they've got weapons. They've got 2 great running backs. You've got thunder and lightning combination type at running back. You've got all these wide receivers that are great. The defense is great. You just need someone who can throw the ball to them and not do Carson Wentz, Taylor Heineke type shit.
I think that's top 10, top 3 wide receiver group.
Yeah, easily. Easily. They've been, I mean, you got Jahan Dotson, who had, I think, a stellar rookie season.
Absolutely, yep.
Kind of fell off a little bit. I think that's attributed to the back and forth quarterback situation. But
but a lot of the time in the earlier in the season, he was touchdown or nothing.
Yeah.
So I think even that he got more involved in the games as the season went on.
He had like 3 touchdowns in the first 2 games, I think. Like he had 2 in the first one. So, and you got Terry McLaurin, who I think
with he had 30 or 40 yards.
Yeah. Which is weird because I don't remember him being like that at Penn State, like a boom or bust kind of guy. Like, he was just that reliable receiver. But I guess, once you...
Right. I think that's particularly what he was good at, and once he learns more of his route trees, he'll be better in the shorter game. But yeah, Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel is the other receiver. Yeah, that's pretty damn good top 3, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Let's see here. Do you think Todd Monken is enough for Lamar to stay in Baltimore?
I mean, look what he did with Stetson Bennett. Like, I was listening to a college football podcast, and like, I didn't really know much about him, so I was listening, and they were explaining it, and how he was able to utilize Stetson Bennett's feet very well with his running ability, and was able to capitalize on that. Their offense was not good before he came in. So, like, Georgia has a lot to replace for them, but I think coming in, I think it's great. So where did Greg Roman go again? Did he go to college? He's not a head coach.
No. Who was it? It was the OC for someone.
Indy? No. We talked about that.
Wait, did he get hired yet?
He definitely went somewhere, because I'm pretty sure we talked about it. But, I mean, anyway.
I'm not seeing anything here.
It does seem like those first 2 years with Greg Roman and Lamar, it was like almost revolutionary. But the past 3 years, it does seem like it got a little bit stale, and they kind of figured it out. It was like Lamar gets it done with his feet, or he gets it to Mark Andrews.
Right. Yeah. Rashad Bateman's good. Duvernay's good.
Which actually,
and they're not stellar, but like that should be enough to get you more.
If you think about it,
than they have.
This year's Georgia team is pretty much the Ravens. Like, the Ravens have a stacked tight end room. So did Georgia. They've got a great defense. Georgia had a great defense, good O-line, and a quarterback that, may or may not have the best arm. I think it's yet to be seen with Lamar because of his receivers, but he was able to use his feet effectively. So I think it's exciting for Ravens fans. What's that?
A Lad McConkey. Lamar needs a Lad McConkey.
I don't know if he is draft eligible, but go for it.
I don't think he is, but like that type of
get him
all in white.
Get him as a UFA. Fuck it.
There you go.
Worked getting a shorter white wide receiver who could run routes well. Worked for Brady for all those years.
Maybe they'll be the surprise dark horse for Derek Carr if Lamar leaves.
Crazy. This whole.
Yeah, so, before we go into Derek Carr, another thing with the Raiders, guess who got a fucking haircut? You and Mark Davis shaved his bowl cut off. Mark Davis shaved his bowl cut off.
The most iconic haircut in sports is now gone.
It is. It's gone. It's so sad. It was so fun to make fun of. Every single time. It never got old seeing it.
Do you remember those? It was some interview he was doing where he was like sitting in a chair with his backpack on, and he was getting interviewed, and he just looked like a little kid with his bowl cut, like a little Mississippi kid. I don't know why Mississippi, but just seems like Mississippi, and he's just like answering questions. Now he looks like an adult. He looks
like a boss in like a John Wick movie, holding the cat, and is like, "You messed with the Baba Yaga? Oh no!"
Like old Mark Davis looked like when I think of Benjamin Buttons. Like, that's just Mark Davis. He's just a kid that looks old.
It does. He's very liver spotty.
Yeah. Like, it's the most natural hair that looks like a toupee. Like a good gust of wind, and you're waiting for that thing to go flying. But man, those roots were deep.
It's so clean. You have to wonder if it was a toupee.
It's true. It was
like
very
it's
shiny.
Bicked, dude.
It does look like, I think there was an episode of SpongeBob where he like took a floor waxer to Squidward's head. It looks like someone did that to Mark Davis.
I wish I don't know if that's a quotable episode. Is that the one where he makes the marble? No, that's not the one.
No, it's something random. I mean, I think people do that in just plenty of cartoons. I just thought of SpongeBob because I definitely remember
right.
it. If someone's bald in a cartoon, someone's getting floor buffed.
So back to Derek Carr.
Yeah.
This frees up about $29.5 million for the Raiders. So they have about it's a little bit less than $15 million of dead money, I think. So not terrible, but I mean, wish it could have been used somewhere else. I'm sure they wish they could have.
Mm-hmm. What is their plan at quarterback? Jarrett Stidham?
I think Stidham. I mean, he didn't look terrible.
I guess they could be
against the 49ers. He didn't look good against the 49ers, but he put up points against them.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably a team that no one's talked about as possibly trading up with the Bears. Like, I feel like I haven't seen that in any mock drafts, and no one's talked about it. It's been the Colts, the Texans, and someone else. I don't remember who.
Well, where are they?
I mean, they weren't good. I can tell you.
23 NFL draft order. Let's see here.
1, 2, 3,
Chicago
4, 5,
1,
6, 7. They're the 7th overall pick.
Okay, that's not out of reach.
I mean, I think the other. I mean, they could still like. I've seen ones where Chicago trades back twice. Like, so, if say Chicago trades back to 4, there's a Will Levis,
that Detroit pick at 6
C.J. Stroud. Like, maybe they still move up. I mean, I've heard. I don't get the Anthony Richardson thing. I guess a lot of people are comparing him to Josh Allen, where it's like, but I mean,
Yeah.
I don't get that either.
In the limited amount of games that I've watched of Florida, he really did not impress me.
No, I mean, I get the Josh Allen comparison where he's very athletic and big, and really the only thing you need to fix is kind of his accuracy. And if you can fix that, great.
I think he's more like a stronger Lamar, but he has worse accuracy than Lamar.
Yeah, like and it's not always really easy to fit. I mean, Josh Allen, I feel like, is one of the few who, coming into the NFL, they were like, he needs to fix his accuracy. I feel like he's one of the few that has been able to not only just improve it, but like drastically improve it.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right. God, I cannot wait until draft and free agency. Holy shit.
Draft will be fun. Maybe we can schedule or try and fit in a live draft together somehow.
I wanted to do that last year, but you were like, "Oh, that'll be 3 hours long."
No, not even. I mean, like, be together in person and be able to like record and cut clips and like clip it for sort of like we did for the Super Bowl.
We're gonna have to be in the middle. 3 hours is kind of a lot.
That's true. Something. I mean, it could be something where I can come up. Like, I could be in the area. There's been plenty of times I've been in the area. Actually, guess who's going to be in the area this weekend? But don't hold me to that because I don't know how the schedule is. Every time we go up, we got to see everyone. So it's
right. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to shoe in an episode of the podcast.
Yeah, but I'll have all my stuff.
I mean, you need at least probably 2 hours.
Yeah, probably
an hour and a half, 2
probably
hours.
More like 3 because I think where you're at's like 45 minutes from.
Oh
Reagan.
yeah, you said you go to
Hanover.
From Reading, yeah, it's about
no, from Reagan. She's in Hanover.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's like 35
30, 45, yeah.
It's a little bit of a hike.
Yeah.
But yeah. I forgot about this. Brandon asking about NHL in the middle of the
dude
in the middle of the game.
I forgot. Like, that was one of the parts that didn't remember whatsoever. When I watched that, I actually had it on YouTube. I was like, my draft works like 2 minutes, but I was like, let me watch this since it's out, and I like skipped forward, and it just happened to be that part, and I almost crashed my car because you like zoomed in on my face when I was like, and I was like, I can't even answer this question, like. And then I was like, I said, I'm not answering that. I'm like, it's the Super Bowl.
How do you think Boston's going to do? Are they going to make the playoffs? Yeah, they're the best team in the league.
I said, yeah, I was like, I'm more worried about how the Eagles are going to finish the Super Bowl. Like, wild. But I didn't
That
realize.
response was perfect.
I know. I don't know how I came up with it because I don't remember it. And I don't think Brandon remembered it either because I guess Reagan said he was really fucked up too.
He was
not.
pretty drunk, yeah.
I was really honestly.
He was slurring his words a lot, repeating himself.
I was. He does.
It's okay though.
But yeah, I was not aware of anyone else in the room except for Reagan when she was yelling at me, rightfully so, and Nate when I was yelling at him. Otherwise, honestly, no one else existed other than the TV.
Nothing existed outside of your bubble except yelling.
Yeah, pretty much, and then disappointment and shame. But yeah, so we talk a little bit of hockey. I don't have much, but yeah, Boston's probably going to be pretty good. Boston,
Right, I did just see that they're like the second team ever to
I think
99. They're the second fastest team to 90 points.
Yeah,
ever.
I don't remember what Tampa's.
I think it was 56 games.
I don't remember how fast but I know Tampa a couple of years ago was like one of the best records, and I think they might be maybe even the best record in the in history, and they might possibly they've only lost like 8 games or 9 games something
yes,
crazy.
I think
or that only lost like 9 games in regulation, but it's
let me
look
this up. ESPN's being slow.
I got you.
Pull
up my NHL
app. Actually, no, not scores.
Standings. Bruins are 43-8-5. So they've only lost 13 games.
5, yeah.
They've lost 13 games going into the All-Star break.
Yeah.
And those games were in overtime. I wish there was an easier way to find out who, because I'm assuming it was probably good teams, but the last team that did something like that got swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets in the first round. And I don't think anyone saw that happening with Tampa Bay when it happened, but I mean you're gearing up for 2 pretty goddamn good teams. What a treat it would be for Toronto to end up matched up against Boston at some point, and Toronto to finally win against Boston in the playoffs when they're the odds-on favorite by far.
I always root for Toronto.
They've been crushed.
I like Toronto for some reason. I mean, I like Austin Matthews, the fucking only American out there.
Mm-hmm.
But
there's a lot more of us
I have
these
days.
I
have their losses.
Oh, good.
So, they lost to Los Angeles, Ottawa.
Los Angeles is good this year. They're second in the Pacific.
And that was, let's see here, Florida and Dallas. 2 of those were in shootouts too.
Okay, so yeah, they've got an amazing goaltender. No one's going to be surprised if they make it all the way. But the NHL, we've talked about.
Tuukka Rask is still their goaltender, right? No,
Nope.
I know he retired.
I know, which is crazy. Wow. Oh shit. I'm gonna have to start actually watching hockey because I've been getting back into, college basketball, gearing up for March, which we'll get into later.
Yes.
But wow, Seattle is 3rd place in the Pacific. They're looking into what's it? I think this is their 3rd year, possibly getting into the playoffs. That's awesome. I really need to get back into it. I got away from. I mean, it's so hard when the Flyers are just so bad. It is a fucking disaster. Yet Ivan Provorov not wearing fucking the rainbow one day, and people bitching about that, and it's all right. That's his
choice.
That is the most news I've heard about the Flyers all year.
Yeah, and he's being respectful about it. He's not being an asshole. It's he's Russian Orthodox. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah. So it's I truly people will probably say oh, you're not a true fan. You're not sticking with it with them. Why am I going to torture myself watching the team be so fucking god awful? Because I you saw me lose my mind during the Eagles Super Bowl. Because I played hockey and I know hockey so much more, when I watch the Flyers, and they're bad, it's fucking torture. Because I'm you can see they're just not trying, and I'm just losing. I would stand on my coffee table at school and scream at the TV in a regular season game. I know how up I get for Flyers games, and I just can't do that 82 times and be let down now 35 times. Probably them getting demolished. Like, it's not even close. So,
dude, I cannot even imagine you for a Stanley Cup final if it went to 7 games. The Eagles, the Super Bowl 7 times over in the span of a week and a half.
well, see, those first couple of games, like games 1 through 4, unless like it was a sweep situation, I would be, obviously excited, but I'd have to collect myself. I'd hold it together.
Right.
But yeah, once it gets to that clinching point, yeah, like I fucking love the Flyers, but it's been so fucking awful. They've been run like the Washington Commanders. It's been that bad.
Yeah, that's
can't
unfortunate.
Get anything done. I thought that they started off fairly hot, like coming back. I think
I remember you saying that.
That season started like in the middle of the Phillies playoff run. So I was like middle finger to everyone. Philly is on top. The Eagles were killing it. Sixers were starting off hot. The Flyers were starting off hot. What's the other one? Phillies, Eagles, Sixers. Yeah, I got them all. Everyone, I was like, we're going to take over the world. And we've now lost 3 championships. At least I know the Flyers can't lose the Stanley Cup this year.
I was going to repost that clip of you being like, what would be really awful? If the Eagles end up losing the Super Bowl, they lost the MLS Cup, they lost the World Series.
Yeah, well, I knew that was a possibility when it came in. And it's really bad because the Sixers have been playing pretty well lately. And like I said, I'm not as into NBA basketball, but I will get into it for the playoffs. It's just hard during the season when you got like start the whole rest thing. I think they should cut that season down because people are just not playing.
How many games? I think it's 82 games.
82
games.
Yeah, it's the same as the NHL. It's just
that's crazy.
I get the load management thing, but it's like the thing I don't get about that. Like I get it. You want to preserve yourself. You want to extend your career for as long. It's why LeBron's been able to play as long as he could and whatnot. But anyway, but also you had people in the 90s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s playing every game unless they were like legitimately hurt and played for a long time. I mean, fucking Vince Carter played till he was like 45 or some shit. And
he came into the league when he was, 19?
Yeah, and he was good. Like, pretty solid when he was older. So it's like, and we have so much better technology for recovery and healing and stuff like that. Like, I don't get why. I don't know. I feel like I sound like an old man yelling at clouds right now, even though I'm young. Like, it just seems fucking stupid.
I ain't old.
I mean, I'm being the typical hockey fan of like sick league, bro. Like you're taking rest days. Fucking guys are getting slit, their throats slit, and then going back out there. Not legitimately, but we talked about it. Blake Wheeler bust a nut. He didn't come. He literally his nut burst in his sack, and he finished the game. Could you imagine if that happened to LeBron? LeBron would be out for like 5 years.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if he got his wrist slashed, Evander Kane style?
Yeah, like, oh my God, I don't know if we even talked about it on the podcast.
He would have like ketchup packets ready to like make it more dramatic.
Oh, he would be WWE style, razors in his wristbands or blood packets, cutting himself to just leak with a completely like red mask. Like, did you see when he got fouled at the end of that one game when they didn't call it against the Celtics? And he was
when Pat Bev brought up the camera, he got down on his knees.
That's right. We did.
Why, God? Why?
Like, if he wasn't so ridiculous, I don't think it would be as much of a heated debate like him and MJ, because he is like he's got the points. He just doesn't have the titles. But he's just so cringy and sometimes such a bitch. Like,
yeah, Libich. He's named Libich for a reason.
You know what? I'm looking at it. The Flyers aren't that far outside of the playoffs right now. But it's not.
Oh my God! Don't get your hopes up.
I know. Pittsburgh is the last team in with 63 points, and the Flyers have 56. That's still 7 points, but. The St. Louis Blues were in like dead last place at the All-Star break and came back all the way and won the Stanley Cup that year. So never say never.
Right.
Never say never.
Unfortunately, I think Penguins hockey is headed for a extended dead period.
Yep.
No
Pittsburgh's
one
going
really,
to...
yeah, no one really thought they were going to compete this year, but everyone's saying to just fucking go all in since this is likely the last hurrah for Malkin, Crosby, and
I wonder if the trade deadline happened.
fucking.
That's how out of hockey I am. I have no idea if the trade deadline happened, any big trades.
I don't think it did.
I really need to like get back into it because I love hockey, so I just got to fix it. But
In other hockey news, Jonathan Taves has long COVID. He literally does. He actually does.
Yeah, that's weird. But the Penguins will go into a dark age. They'll threaten to sell the team, and the NHL will give them a free first-round pick, generational talent like Mario Lemieux or Sidney Crosby, because that's what happens. That's what happens for the Penguins because, I don't know, fucking Yinzer luck or some shit. Like
It's
four
definitely
different...
Yinzer luck.
Well, well, with Lemieux being like owner now, they're not going to go to the point where they might sell the team, but just remember that, Pittsburgh. When you want to shit on us, when you want to shit on the Flyers, we won 2 Stanley Cups first. You've only got one more than us, and you almost sold the team fucking twice.
Honestly, if there's any team that's out first, I think it might be the Penguins. I don't know. It's so hard. Well, first off, I mean, Bob Nutting is never going to fucking die, so he'll never sell the Pirates. And I don't know. I just feel it's tough.
I don't think any team would ever leave Pittsburgh. Like, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Right. Well, obviously the Steelers will never leave, but we've kind of been hearing, rumblings of the Penguins thinking about, leaving the city, and the Pirates, people just want them to leave the city. But people still go to the games and they enjoy the fuck out of them.
I will say, compared to...
It's part of the city.
I think not having a basketball team definitely probably helps the popularity of the Penguins. Like, I'll be honest, when you go to Pittsburgh, you will see a lot more just straight up Penguins fans. It's mostly like Penguins, Steelers, obviously not Pirates, but people who probably care more about...
You see a lot of P's. You see a lot of Pirates.
You do see a lot of Pirates, but you'll see more... Honestly, you'll see more than in Philly. You will see more people who are like Penguins #1, Steelers 2, than you will... Like, I don't know how many people you'll find in Philly that it's like Flyers 1, Eagles 2. I mean, it's... Pretty much the whole city is just Eagles, but... Yeah, I mean, it's definitely you're out there. It's a cold weather area. Hockey is great out in Pittsburgh, so it makes sense. But
it is super. I really want to go to a game. I love that arena.
I know. I should have went to more while I was out there.
Absolutely.
I went to see Kevin Hart in that arena.
Oh shit! That's where I saw Rogan and Tony Hinchcliffe.
Dude, Bert. I was listening to Bert Kreischer on Pardon My Take today, and like his rise to fame is just insane. That's just my little anecdote there.
I think I recently just heard something about how he came up.
The story of the Machine. So you know how he has a movie coming out, like the Machine movie.
Right. Yeah. How the pandemic delayed it and everything.
Yeah, that like story. He was like barely making it. He was talking about how like it was like the day he posted the Machine story on Facebook and like a stand-up. He said like that day he was like fighting with his wife about a vasectomy. Like she wanted him to get a vasectomy. He was like, "Can is stuff still come out if I get it? I want to know if stuff still comes out." And it was fighting.
Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Like they had, and then all of a sudden like that. And he said he has told that pretty much at the end of every single stand-up like that he's done because people clamor for it, and he's like changed. Like listening to him talk about how he's like changed the story to not get stale is that man is a genius, and him and Tom Segura are fucking hysterical.
I could hear the original telling of that story on the Rogan podcast forever. It's so good.
Yeah.
Anytime it comes up in my recommended, I'm like, I can't remember exactly how this goes. Click.
Yeah.
It is really good.
I've never seen the original one. I've just seen the story from his stand-up. And he said there's like parts of the story in his stand-up, like like there's parts that he hasn't told about that whole, like it legit happened. Like
right.
he talked about how they stole a boat on the podcast today. He talked about something else. And yeah,
Rogan wasn't the first time he told it to anyone, but that was the first time it got like popular and got out. From way back when Red Band was the producer.
Yeah, because he said he went on there the first time and was just going to do bits, and Rogan was like, all right, what the fuck is this? And then he was like, all right, next time I'll tell you about, when I joined the Russian Mafia, and then that's how it all blew up. Anyway. I want to do a quick anecdote on NCAA basketball, just because March is coming up. Conference tournaments are coming up. Ian, you are confirmed coming to Shane's for March Madness?
Yes, I will be there, yes.
Okay, and I think I am confirmed to be able to be there, so this is going to be amazing. As I mentioned to you...
Thomas, if you're watching, I'll get you diapers.
I have been 2 years in a row. I have drugged people with just simple Delta 8.
yeah, you said that last week.
I don't think I'm going to bring any... because I don't want that to become a running thing of like, who's going to throw up because RJ gave them Delta 8.
Third time's the charm. If he brought it a third time, it would be a thing.
It was myself and Frowny last year, which you'll meet Frowny. But anyway, so as far as like the basketball goes all together, so I was like looking at stuff and I was texting Shane to put in bets for me. So TCU, they are at least last time I looked, they're like ranked 22nd. Overall in the rankings. They are the number 7 team in the Big 12. That's how good the Big 12 is. Like, the Big 12 is fucking insane. I'll actually go through and I'll tell you how many teams right now are in the top 25 from the Big 12. Where is it? AP top 25. You have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams in the top 25.
Damn, that's fucking impressive.
And I'm telling you what, it's going to be a crazy thing. And I'm going to tell you what Shane and I are going to do as far as betting goes the first 2 days. Moneyline underdogs, and underdog spreads. That's all we're doing.
I think I'm out. I'm just out on bets. I think, you know what? I think this is a good quote to end on. And something that we should all strive for. How much money did the 27 Yankees make? Or the 29 A's? Or the 75-76 bid right machine? Middleton said. Does anybody know? Does anybody care? Nobody knows or cares whether any of them made any money or not. And nobody cares about whether I make money or not. If my legacy is that I didn't lose any money owning a baseball team on an annual operating basis, that's a pretty sad legacy. It's about putting trophies into cases.
I love that.
That is fucking awesome.
I will be watching. You know what? Right now, I will watch at least 15 Phillies regular season games this year. From inning 1 to inning 9 and beyond.
15 out of 162.
Double headers don't count because they're shorter, unless I watch both. A 7-inning one.
I don't think game? They haven't done that since 2020.
Oh, then never mind.
And they don't even really do double headers anymore.
Okay, then never mind. 15. Listen, I was gonna say 10, but I thought that was too low. Then I was gonna say 20, and I was like, "Ooh, that's a big commitment." So I'm meeting you in the middle at 15, and it might be. And I'm gonna track it. I will track it on our Twitter. I will say, RJ's Phillies games watched 1. And we need to put that somewhere. Maybe we need to leave that as a permanent thing on the itinerary so I remember.
Well, no, we can't change our name. It would take away the blue check mark. I was going to say put a tally in the name on Twitter.
But yeah, fucking hate those people.
It's stupid.
Yes.
But yeah. All right, everyone. Good succinct episode.
This is a great episode, everyone.
That was actually a very good episode.
You thought last episode was good? That was because of the chaos. This episode was good because it was fucking structured and amazing. Ian.
Structured,
you
funny,
rock.
And knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. You rock, RJ.
No, you rock.
Yeah. No, you rock.
No, you rock.
No, you munch.